I am happy that she didn't say 6'7". That's a win.
What? Bro, when you're talking about your favorite artist and you're saying, I'm glad she didn't say 6'7" on her album, where are we at? What is happening? Before we get talking about QTCinderella today, I just want to pull something up real quick, and that is the stages of grief. I think it's really important that we take a look at this. There are 5 stages of grief. There's first denial, and then there is bargaining, right? And then there's a little bit of anger in there before it kicks into depression, right? And then we have final acceptance, and then you move on from the grief. And I wanted to talk about that before we talk about QTCinderella, because she's been going through it this week, dog. And it's because this past Friday, Taylor Swift dropped a new album. Taylor Swift's Life of the Showgirl was released this past week. And QTCinderella, she's a big Swiftie, not the biggest Swiftie in the world, but she likes Taylor Swift enough to, you know,
on October 3rd, he asked me
go
what
ahead
day it was.
and do a little makeup for it. You know,
The Life of a Showgirl.
put on a little dress, try to look like Taylor. QT did this past week to get ready to live stream and listen to The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift. And quickly after that, she started to release her first thoughts.
You guys ready?
So this
Ready
is
for
her.
a fun night?
And by the way, I'm going out tonight.
Is her getting ready? Yeah, she loves Taylor Swift. She's really excited.
Hello.
She listened to the album, and then she started giving her thoughts after listening to it quite a few times.
Album 10 times at this point, minimum. I kind of lost count. I've got some incredibly nuanced takes, and I hope you're ready for them. Okay? The number one feedback that I'm seeing is obviously this. Or this. Yep. Or this. Okay? I obviously understand the frustration. Listen, I'm a folklore girly myself, but we've got to talk about it. All of that said, when Tortured Poets Department came out, remember that the conversation around that was very much so, this was the album made for fans. This was the album for the fans. And yes, we had kind of frivolous made for radio music like Down Bad. Every album has that. Shake It Off, 22, Never Getting Back Together. Yes. We know. We get that stuff. But we also had the manuscript, and we had How Did It End, and we had Chloe, Sophia, and Marcus, and we had these gorgeous songs that you had to sit and digest. They weren't made for radio. They were a feast to sit and pick apart and talk about and write down that lyric and feel it in your heart and, you know, relate to it in a way. And that is the type of music that a lot of Swifties love, okay? Now, we have the complete juxtaposition to that with The Life of a Showgirl. And this is some nuance that I think everyone that claims to be a Swiftie, because there's a lot of heat, even coming from fans right now about this album.
Dog, this is this is almost a 5-minute TikTok. This is a 5-minute TikTok. Her first TikTok, by the way, I want to get that out of the way. We're going to watch a lot of these. So I hope you're ready to watch a lot of QTCinderella TikToks talking about specifically Taylor Swift, because yeah, this is her trying to, what stage of grief would this be? Someone in the chat said this is the bargaining stage. We got denial. I think this is more denial than it is bargaining. We'll get into some bargaining. All right. But I think this is more so denial. This is also, I loved this comment. Cutie, I'm so sorry, but but yeah. I don't know. I think, me personally, this is kind of a denial about what the album is. Kind of saying like, oh, this is supposed to be for everybody. You know, this is supposed to be the radio type album, the song, the hits, you know, the Grammy winner album. It's sort of like, all right, I'll give you a Kanye West equivalent for that. I bet like that's as opposite as you can go as Taylor Swift, right? So if we were to compare Kanye West to Taylor Swift, it would be like Kanye's 1989 would be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? And it's not everybody's favorite. It's not like, it's really good. It's got lots of radio hits on it. It's not everybody's favorite. You know, me personally, I like Donda. I think Donda's my favorite. I also like Life of Pablo. You know, less hits, you know, less stuff for the radio, but you know, you've got your Beautiful Dark Twist Fantasy. It's got its hits. That's what 1989 is to Taylor Swift. So Cutie here is trying to say that, you know, Life of a Showgirl is the Donda, right? That's what it is. So like I said, Stages of Grief, I think she's in denial right now. Because I don't even think that's what this is. I think Taylor Swift was just trying to make a solid album, trying to make something that the Swifties would like. And maybe some Swifties like it, but it doesn't seem like the general Swifties like it.
Tortured Poets Department. One of my favorite albums, genuinely. That won 0 Grammys. 0 Grammys. Insane. Right? Insane.
Lay, I see you. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it.
Insane. With lyrics that blew my mind time and time again. 0 Grammys, depicting emotions that I haven't been able to articulate myself. 0 Grammys, with some of the most beautiful visuals. 0 Grammys, a double album. 0 Grammys, 30 songs. 0 Grammys. Let's just 0.
I'm going to say something that's probably going to piss the Swifties off. And that's really scary because when you piss the Swifties off, you're in danger. You are getting your whole address docked. But I'm going to say it. I don't think anything Taylor Swift has released the past few years has deserved a Grammy. I've listened to the music. I've heard what Taylor Swift has made that has won a Grammy. And what she's been releasing, it's not it. It's not it. It's not stuff I want to listen to again. I guess like the last good Taylor Swift song I listened to that I really liked was American Dynasty. That was the one for me. And since then, I'm like, especially the last, like she said she liked The Tortured Poet. I think that album is trash. Yeah, I think the lyrics for that, every single lyric I've ever read from that, I'm like, and this is basically, I've read the new lyrics for this new album. It's basically that on steroids.
And I'm not saying Grammys are everything. I'm not saying that. But
with the Swifties.
You watch the Miss Americana documentary, and what is Girly Pop saying? She cares about the Grammys. She is a people pleaser. She does find value in that. And so you know what the difference is switching from a Tortured Poets Department to this album, Life of a Showgirl? That's showbiz, baby. You know what showbiz is? You know what the life of a showgirl is pivoting to what makes sense right now. And what makes sense right now is mass-produced music. It does. It's bop, so you listen on in the radio and everyone can listen to. You don't have to dissect it. I call it a peanut butter sandwich.
This would make sense if the album was good. This would make sense if the album was good. It is not good. It doesn't sound good. I took a little bit of a listen. I listened to like Canceled and stuff. Me personally, I don't think any song on there has a solid chorus that's meant for the radio. Am I crazy to say that? I just don't think it does. I just don't think anybody likes this album. This is like Taylor Swift's revival.
This album is
like the album revival for you people that don't listen to rap.
a peanut butter sandwich. It's easily enjoyed by everybody. Really, the only reason that you're sitting here picking some of these lyrics apart is because you went to English class with Tortured Poets Department and you sat there and you were able to do that and Folklore and Evermore. You know what I'm saying? But if you
Talking about going to English class. Come on, I don't. Is there? Let's be honest. Does Taylor Swift belong there with Shakespeare? With Toni Morrison? With Edgar Allan Poe? Really? Does anyone truly believe that Taylor Swift is there? I don't think so. In any album of Taylor Swift's, I don't think it's that. Let's just be real about it. I mean, she's a Swiftie, so I understand.
go back to 1989, that won the most Grammys that she's ever won, one of her biggest albums ever. You also won't find a ton. You'll find some. I know, clean. I know. Listen, I know my work. I know my sources. You won't find as many of these golden nuggets that you would in Folklore or Evermore or Red. This album is still good. It really is still good. And no matter how angsty and cynical you're being, I guarantee you're going to be doing your makeup next week and this is going to be on in the background because it's fun. It is fun. And I know it. Us lyrical girlies, we don't want to admit it. We want to be mad and we want to be worked up. But it's fun because sometimes a peanut butter sandwich is still good and will still fill you up. And it's a great midnight snack.
Yeah. So she's saying like, hey, this album, you know, it may not be for the Swifties, but it's gonna get critical acclaim, right? I think she's also kind of already accepted that she was wrong because, like I said, we're in the 5 stages of grief. We're currently in denial about what the album even is. But
I just kind of don't understand.
Another 4 minutes of her. We'll see if she transitions from the denial to the bargaining. For this one, this might be interesting.
Understand how you can make albums like Folklore and Evermore, and then 2 albums later, you're like, I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't Savage, and my dick's bigger. Like, how is that possible to regress that much? Because it's not regression, it's reinvention, it's a calculated choice. Get with the program, people. You've lost.
By the way, me coming up with these 5 stages of grief is not original. Like, this is the TikTok comments.
That's the plot. You know, Blondie
It's a calculated choice to make a bad album.
herself said this was a gel pen album, right? Like, are we missing some of the interviews here? Are we missing that she announced it on a podcast? Why are we taking this so seriously? And I think it's so important to realize
This is like
what this
Rapture
album
talk.
is and take it for what it is. Because the line right here, and I agree with you, this is not what I would want to hear because I'm a Folklore Evermore girly myself, okay? I'm not a bad bitch. This isn't Savage. You know how that's been beautifully written? Is you should be doing more. To you, I can admit, I'm just too soft for all of it. I'm not a bad bitch.
Bro, I where y'all think she's at? Y'all think she's in denial or... This one has anger. The graph we were looking at earlier said she would go from denial to bargaining in your grief. So this one has some anger in between. It kind of seems like she's getting angry at the Swiftie community. You feel like it? Like that's what I feel like. I feel like she's pulling up people's posts and she's coming with receipts and screenshots. She's trying to combat the hate for this album, even though she doesn't like it.
This isn't Savage. Yes, it's been dumbified, okay? But we have already gotten that. We have received that. And now this is show business.
I think Canceled is Taylor Swift's biggest red flag. That was the only one I listened to, by the way. I've read the lyrics for a few of them. That was the only one I listened to. First off, that's not a song for the radio. I'll just be real with you. I don't think Canceled's a song for the radio. Like QT is saying here. But second off, it's so garbage. The lyrics are so dumb. Like, what do you mean you like your friends canceled? Like, what? what does that even mean? I like when my friends get exposed for saying racial slurs. I like when my friends get exposed as sexual assaulters. Like, in what world does it make sense that you like your friends canceled? It's not like people get canceled for good things or get canceled because they're different, you know? Like, this feels like a right-wing shift. Am I crazy to say that? Like, yeah, even the comment says it right here. Racist, misogynist, the whole free for incident. Like, it is a red flag. It's like Taylor Swift made this album specifically for like some good old Midwestern Republican wives. That's what it was. That's who it was made for. That's who turns on canceled and gets turned up in their 2012 Toyota Corolla, and they just blast that thing, right?
Now this is the showgirl. You know what I'm saying? I know this is like an incredibly nuanced take, but I'm saying this as somebody who listened to Eldest Daughter as a track number 5 and was so disappointed because I wanted something to be heartbreaking. And I realized that a lot of the themes in Eldest Daughter, they've already been hit to the people that decided to dissect them and understand them. Even to, I mean, everyone's so punk on the internet, just trolling and memes. Yeah, okay, but
it's like she's going through it for Taylor. It's like people are making fun of the album and it feels like it's a personal attack on her.
I'm not cut out for all these cynical clones, these hunters with cell phones. The lakes. We covered that. All of this to say, it might not have been the track number 5 you wanted, but it has hit a lot of feelings and themes that you've already received. And as somebody
this
that
feels like a therapy set, this feels like Alcohol's Anonymous. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Taylor Swift bad album support group is crazy.
Loves lyrics and loves, dissecting them and treats every Taylor Swift album like a new book. Like my author just wrote a brand new book and I'm so excited to read all the chapters and tell everyone what I think. Eldest Daughter wasn't the track number 5 that I was hoping for on an album called Life of the Showgirl, balancing what I would think is romance and tragedy, right? The stars in your eyes and really behind the scenes is darkness. Nothing new. The Lucky One. Even I Can Do It With a Broken Heart touches that, That's what I expected for a track number 5.
I haven't listened to the album yet, so I'll be honest, I can't dissect this as much as I want to, but comments are with me here, right? These are the 5 stages of grief. I think we have definitely entered into the bargaining stage at this point, and we saw a bit of anger in there as well. I don't know if she's even at depressed. I don't think she's. Maybe depression hits her. We'll see.
I have a question. I have a genuine question.
Keep in mind, guys, we have 3 more, or just 2 more, actually. This one's different. We have 2 more videos that are.
I have a question. I have a genuine.
Okay, this one's 1 minute.
My biggest disappointment.
This one's 1 minute. Okay, she lowered.
I have a question. I have a genuine.
Her amount of minutes she's spending per video in this. Someone's saying this is the bargaining stage. She's going through it, dog. She is going through it.
Question. I put a lot of thought into this. 20-year Swiftie here, reporting for duty with a question to the rest of you. Did I miss the memo where we were supposed to take this album seriously?
I mean, it seems like it. Am I crazy? Like, do you see the way Swifties react every time an album's released? Like, this is not new, right? This is every single, because like Taylor makes good albums. I'll say that. Like, I can't really. Before this, I would say the worst Taylor album was The Tortured Poets, right? And this is far worse than that. So it's downhill from here. I feel like I don't know. We'll see the next album drop whenever Taylor makes that, but I kind of feel like the hype has always been there and now it may start to die. What do y'all think?
Because what I remember is that it was announced on a podcast. It was announced on a football podcast. Do we not see like the satire there? Like, it's so clearly a joke. She's on this podcast talking about how the lyrics are likened to folklore, but the pop version, girly pop, was joking. That's gotta be a joke. That's the same person that wrote, "Is it romantic how my elegies eulogize me? I bathe in the cliffside with my calamitous love and insurmountable grief, saying I'm the bad bitch." You know what I'm saying? Like, it just has to be satire. This is just a joke. It's a joke. And it's okay. Take it for what it is. Enjoy yourself. Stop being so angry. I have a question. I have a genuine question.
I think we're hitting the depression stage. Hey, we're edging the depression stage right now. We got one more video.
My biggest disappointment about the Life of the Showgirl album isn't the cheesy lyrics and the millennial coded jokes. Okay, those were disappointing. Not unexpected. I am happy that she didn't say 6'7". That's a win.
What? Bro, when you're talking about your favorite artist and you're saying, I'm glad she didn't say 6'7" on her album, where are we at? What is happening? Like, she didn't, that's a win for you? To not say 6'7"? I mean, might as well make like a YouTuber meme album at that point. Oh, I think we're back at like bargaining, kind of. I think this is some bargaining of like, oh well, at least she didn't say 6'7". No, I thought we were hitting the depression stage of grief, but we're all the way back to bargaining again.
We take that win. However, the biggest thing that I was disappointed in with this album that I was really hoping for with all this beautiful imagery and showgirlism is like, I love burlesque. I've seen Dita Von Teese live. I love the glitz and the glam.
That was my opinion on this album, actually. So I saw the photo shoots and I was like, wow, like she looks great, right? This is like the best photo she's ever taken. I think she looks amazing here. And then the album is like the worst album ever. It's like good aesthetic with no content.
You know, smoking a cigarette post show. I think we got close there with the title track, but it was just really missing that like heartfelt ballad, that cabaret-esque ballad that just like rips your heart apart. She kind of touches the themes with like The Lucky One or Nothing New or even Clara Bow. And I was just hoping for some like Max Martin takes jazz, you know? That's what I was really hoping for. I'm bummed we didn't get it.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Taylor does like really like themed albums. Am I crazy to say that? I don't like when I think of Taylor Swift albums, I feel like they all sound close to the same. That's what confuses me about the Eras tour so much, is that I think Taylor Swift's sound has like slightly evolved over time, moved away from that country over time and everything, and Reputation is like its own thing, really. But like everything outside of Reputation, there's no strong theming there. You know, there's no committing to a bit in any way.
She's never not done vault tracks, so maybe there's some on the way. And hopefully we get something like that, because I just think with like the showgirl theming, that's the biggest thing left on the table to me is like, where is it? Where is it? Please, I want it, please. That's my biggest disappointment. I know everybody has their own, but it's only because she set the bar so high that I think we get so excited. Anyway, my biggest disappointment.
hold on. I saw a little bit of the depression
my biggest
acceptance in her eyes
because
right there.
she set the
Hold
bar
up.
so high
Hold
that I
up.
think we get so excited. Anyway.
That anyway, and then that sigh, that right there, that's a little bit of depression acceptance kicking in right there. So, I mean, she's still posting these, so she'll probably post another one soon, and we'll get an update on her. But